How much does YouTube pay you for 1 million views? There are tons of people always thinking about starting a YouTube channel, but just not quite sure how much you can really make from it. So I'm gonna give you our exact numbers, not estimates, not guesses, the exact numbers we made on 2 videos that have both generated millions of views. Welcome back to Treasure Hunting with Jebus, guys, and today we're gonna be looking at 2 videos. One that has generated 1.4 million views, and the second one that was just published less than a month ago that has already generated over 2 million views in less than a month, and we're gonna break it down and see just how much money those videos have made. But before we get into that, I want to say I have been on YouTube for more than 5 years. I have had multiple channels that have failed. I've uploaded hundreds of videos to other channels, and I have failed a lot. With all that failing came a lot of learning. So if you think you're going to turn on a camera and generate this kind of money overnight, I'm going to be real with you, it's not going to happen. It's going to take years of failing, it's going to take years of learning, it's going to take years of adjusting, years of adapting. But I just want to show you what's possible to generate on the computer, working for yourself, having fun. Before we get into those numbers, it's important that you understand exactly how you make money on YouTube. There's a common misconception that YouTube pays you just based on the number of views your video has or based on how many subscribers you have, and both of those accusations are completely false. The views, kind of true, kind of false. The subscribers, completely false. So let's get into that. The way that YouTube pays you is actually based on the total number of ads you can put in front of somebody. So if you have a 20-minute video, you have a lot more time to put ads in front of somebody versus if you say you have a 3-minute video. You're not going to get as many ads in front of somebody. What that means is watch time is king. It is the absolute most dominant factor in determining how much money you're going to make per video on YouTube. Another misconception I want to talk about is the percentage somebody watches your video. A lot of people think that if they watch 100% of your video versus if they watch 50% of your video, it's going to make a difference in your pay. And the reality is, it's watch time minutes, not percentage. So for example, if I have a 20-minute video and I keep you watching for 50% of that, that would generate 10 minutes of watch time. If you have an 8-minute video and say your video is super entertaining, you keep somebody watching for 8 straight minutes, 100% watch time, which will most likely never happen. At the end of the day, the YouTube algorithm is going to look at it and say, this video generated 10 minutes, this video generated 8 minutes. So even though my watch percentage was 50%, yours was 100, my video is going to be promoted by YouTube over years because I kept somebody looking at the screen longer than you did. The percentage is absolutely meaningless. What matters is the watch time minutes. So what that means is views is not what's determining how much you're getting paid, it is watch time minutes. So for example, you can have 2 videos, the first video being 10 minutes long and only having 500,000 views. The second video being 1 minute long but having 1 million views. That second video has the highest potential of having 1 million watch time minutes. That's if somebody watched the entire, every single person who watched it watched the entire thing, which is not going to happen. The second video that has 500,000 views is somebody only watched half of it, just half, 5 minutes apiece. You have a 50% average watch duration. Their revenue is going to kill the revenue in the 1-minute video. Kill it. Because they're having somebody watching it for so much longer, and that's what YouTube looks at. How long can you keep somebody looking at the screen? That's going to be the determining factor for all of this. The next common misconception I want to talk about is the number of subscribers and the amount of money you make. The number of subscribers, this is going to blow a lot of people's mind, is completely irrelevant to the amount of money you can make on YouTube. Now, of course, if you have more subscribers, you probably have more people watching your videos, so you can say it in that way that it does generate more revenue. But a channel with 1 million subscribers that gets 1 million views on a video, and a channel with 1 subscriber that has a crazy viral hit somehow generates 1 million views, they're getting paid the same thing for that 1 million views. If they're the same length and they're generating the same type of watch time, they're getting paid the exact same thing. There's no difference. The subscribers that this guy has does nothing for him when it comes to watch time minutes. Now, there are arguments, I don't know the in-depths of YouTube, I don't work there, that the more subscribers you have, the better chance you have of YouTube promoting your videos. I'm not sure about that. It's a lot of people talk about it, discuss it, argue it. We don't really know because none of us work there. And the way you generate more views is by getting YouTube to recommend and promote your video, which you can ask anyone that does YouTube, can be a really, really complicated thing to do. Sometimes you think you figured out the formula, you replicate it, and it does terrible. Sometimes you put one out that you think is going to do all right, it blows up. It's really hard to determine what people are going to be interested at the time, but there are definitely a few things you can do to drastically increase your chances of being recommended and promoted by YouTube. The number one most important thing that you can do is increase your watch time. Now that sounds simple, but it's really, really not. Increasing your watch time is 100% the most important thing to do. Now most people are going to ask, how do you do that? There's a number of ways to do that, and I'm going to go through a quick little list I came up with based off of my own time doing YouTube, and you guys can let me know your opinion too. The number one way you can do that is by using cliffhangers. There's a reason that when you cut on the news, you see the most dramatic story teased at the beginning and then not shown at the end. Same with YouTube videos. The good YouTubers will put a clip at the beginning to get you excited, and then you won't see it till later on in the video. That is a very smart strategy because the whole time somebody's watching that video, they're anticipating what they saw at the beginning. That is a super, super good way to keep somebody engaged long-term with the video, and a very smart strategy. Number two is increasing the number of interactions that your video gets. So your video can be liked, disliked, commented on, and shared. And I'm gonna say something that's gonna break all the haters' hearts out there, but it's common knowledge. A like, a dislike, a positive comment, and a negative comment, they all are seen by the algorithm as one interaction. So, hate to tell the haters, when you're disliking people's videos, insulting them in the comments, the only thing you're actually doing is helping their video be promoted. Helping the chances of their video being promoted go way, way up. So, every time you dislike somebody's video because you hate them as a person, just know you're helping them dramatically. You are not just a little bit. I mean, you're helping their chances go way up by increasing the number of interactions that video has. So you can do things like ask somebody to answer a question in the comments or in the video like that. You can generate more comments that way. You could say something controversial. Something I'll do, if we find something sports related, I'll just insult them, because chances are somebody out there likes that team or dislikes that team or agrees with me. When you have a big audience, someone out there is either going to agree or disagree, and if they do, they're going to voice it. That increases your interactions. That's all strategy. The last thing on my list, but probably the most important, is eye-catching thumbnails and eye-catching titles. Now, I don't know why everyone expects on YouTube you to title your video like exactly what happened. That is boring. If they released a new Superman video that was titled, Superman fought Batman in an epic battle but then lost by being hit with a knife, would you go watch it? No, you already know what happens. That's boring. You want it to be like, title it, Superman fights Batman in an epic war. You'll never believe what happened. Now you gotta know what happened. Now you have to know. If you have a thumbnail that matches that, you are gonna get the click. That's the most important thing you have to have. When somebody's scrolling through, there's hundreds if not thousands of videos that are passing by. Why are they gonna stop and say, let's watch that one? You gotta just grab their attention right off the bat. And the first two things they always see is your thumbnail and your title. So always work on making them as attention grabbing as possible. Now I want to talk about something you probably heard many YouTubers talking about, and that is the CPM, or what that actually stands for is cost per mile. And what that actually means in online terms is how much an advertiser is paying you per 1,000 views. Now they can be as low as, change, but the average would be between $2 and $15. $2 being, prank channels, anything that's controversial per se, and $15 being educational, helpful things. So CPM is basically generated based on your ability or your percentage or chance of converting a viewer into a buyer of a product. So for example, if you're doing pranks or you're doing gaming, your audience is probably made up of younger people that don't have excess money to spend. So naturally your CPM is going to be lower. But if you're making videos that are talking about making money, how to do your taxes, financial videos, money making, things like that, you probably have an older audience that has more income, therefore your CPM is going to be higher. On this channel, we tend to go between $10 and $13. 13 something's the highest we've gotten. We never actually hit up to 15, but between $10 and $13, because most of our videos are talking about storage units and how to convert money, how to make money, how to be self-employed, things like that. So we naturally have a higher CPM. Now, like I said, everybody's CPM can vary. So what this means, again, is a huge channel, like a massive channel with millions of subscribers. It's doing something like pranks. For example, one of my favorite channels on YouTube, Nelk. How many subscribers do they have? Like 3 million, something like that? But all their videos are extremely controversial. They're pranks, so their CPM, they've said it multiple times, is junk. It's way down there because they do controversial things. Even though they're generating millions and millions and millions of views, their CPM is way down there because advertiser, if I'm selling my book on taxes, I probably don't want to sell it to somebody that's drinking and partying and pulling pranks and stuff, because most likely they're not going to be interested. But somebody that's watching a video on how to do my taxes, my rate of converting them into a buyer goes way up, and that's where the CPM comes into. The more chance you have of converting somebody, the higher CPM you're going to have. Another very important factor you have to consider is the time of year. Now, if you watch YouTubers before, you probably heard them say in December they feel like ballers. December, October, November, all those months, you're making big bucks. In January, you're eating ramen and sink water. And there's a reason for that. The CPM is drastically higher at the end of the year. The reason being is companies are selling the most products around the holidays. So if they're selling more products, they're willing to put more money into advertising. Therefore, if you have a very super good video, it's like, this is gonna kill it, it's probably best to put out at the end of the year and not the beginning, because if a video gets 2 million views in December versus a video that gets 2 million views in January, same watch time and everything, that December video is gonna crush it. I mean, probably make 2 or 3 times, if not more, money than the other one would, just because of the time of the year. So it's always an important factor to take into consideration as well. I think that's all the information we have on exactly how to make money on YouTube, how money is generated, how to increase your chances and things like that. If anyone has any questions like that, just put them in the comments below. Like I said, I've been doing this for a lot of years. I've gotten better, still far from perfect, but I've gotten a lot better and learned a lot along the way. So if you have any other questions, put them down there. I'll try my best to answer. And now let's get into the reason everybody clicked on that video and see how much money these 2 videos have generated. Now, the first video we're going to be talking about, we published October 4th last year, 2018, and to this day it has generated a little bit over 1.4 million views. Now, as you'll see with the YouTube graph, videos can blow up out of nowhere and then drop right back down, and blow up again, maybe drop back down. They'll be earning very little or very high. You never really know until you just study those graphs and really become obsessed with your analytics. And when I say obsessed, I mean I have an alarm set at 5 a.m. to wake up every day and look at the analytics the second YouTube updates it for the morning. That's obsessed. I am obsessed. The highest this video ever generated in a single day was $347. Not as high, nowhere near as high as the second one, but just remember that, $347. But to this day, that single video has generated over $9.7 thousand off of one video. 1.4 million views, $9,700. Now, before we get into the second video, remember what we said earlier. This video blew up in October and got the majority of its views in October and early November. So, naturally, the CPM was higher for that video than the second one. Now, let's talk about the number 2 video. The second video we're going to talk about was published April 11th, 2019, less than a month ago, which just somehow sporadically happened to be our anniversary, which is really strange that it happened to be that day and blow up the way that it did. But you know what? Maybe that's YouTube's way of saying happy anniversary to you. But anyway, it has generated over 2 million views, 2 million, and it has not even been a month yet. Keep in mind, our subscriber base is now growing up, but we have just over 80,000 and 2 million views for a video on an 80,000 subscribed channel, especially in less than a month. That's pretty crazy numbers. You can't expect to generate that overnight. That's insane. That's taken lots of years of learning tags, learning titling, learning thumbnails, learning the psychology of YouTube, and then applying it to something. This video has made over $1,000 in a day before. One day it has made over $1,000. But to this day, right now, it's at $10.6 thousand. Also, the last 2 days, today's May 3rd, May 1st and 2nd, have not been updated by YouTube yet. So this video is definitely right now well over $1,000 in under a month, which is, that's crazy. That's really, really crazy for one video. One video. This video is still doing extremely well too. It's not doing, it hit its high peak, but right now it's still generating us $500 to $600 or so every single day for one video. Now, the first video we talked about is making only a couple bucks nowadays. It's hit its peak and it's pretty much down there in debt. It's making between $1 and $10 a day. But think about it. There's over 500 videos on this channel. If all of them are making $1 a day, do the math. that's $500 plus a day. And that's not including the ones that are making hundreds. Some are making 10, some are making 20, some are making 50 cents. But they sit in the background. Think of a YouTube video as an investment. You do it one time and it'll always be there. It can blow up randomly. It can just sit down there and make maybe like 25 to 50 cents a day, or it could be making $20 to $40 a day. And the more you have back there, the more you build up a, what would you say, collection of videos, the more stocks you have, basically. The more chances you have of just stuff gathering little bits of money over time in the background. So just think, $1 to $2 in a video every day, and you have 500 videos, do the math. The numbers can be absolutely insane. Now, these numbers are far from the top guys on YouTube, but for somebody like me who's just a video game playing, social anxiety driven nerd, basically, I'm being honest, it's crazy how much money we can make being on camera and having so much fun. To me, that is what matters. Now, if you're really serious about growing a YouTube channel, I'm gonna give a few more tips here. If you're just here to see the money and move along, deuces. But if you're actually serious about this, there's lots of tools out there to help you improve these numbers. Two things that I use every single day are TubeBuddy and Morning Fame. Now, TubeBuddy, it'll let you see where your tags are ranking. It'll tell you how good they are, if you should use this tag, if you shouldn't use this tag. And it'll just give you a bunch of information. It's absolutely free. There's a paid version of it that gives you more, but I don't use it because I think the second tool I'm going to talk about is actually a little bit more helpful. I have used the paid version of TubeBuddy before, but I think Morning Fame does more. Morning Fame, I think, is $12.95, $13 a month or something like that. But the stuff it provides you is very, very, very insane. So you type in a title or keyword into Morning Fame, and it'll tell you exactly how that word ranks, how often it's searched. It'll give it a ranking score between 1 and 100 based on how many people are looking for that. So you know if your title is good or nah. If it's like giving you a low score, nobody's searching for that. So even if your video is absolutely amazing, nobody's looking for it. Nobody's gonna find it, nobody's gonna care. So you want that title to be something that people are looking for. There's a reason when something trends, like say right now, the Avengers movie. Look at every big YouTuber. Avengers, 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 Avengers. People are looking for that. You have to take that into consideration. Everyone says YouTube's a fake job, there, blah, 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 blah. It takes a lot of work, a lot of research, a lot of editing, a lot of learning, and a lot of adapting. It's not easy. Is it fun? Yes, if you're obsessed with it like me. It's really, really fun, but saying it's easy, it's just stupid and not true. Now, that's just how to rank and get your video to show up. But the most important thing to remember is content is king. If your video sucks, nobody's gonna watch it, no matter how good it is. You might get that initial click, but if they click it and click off in 10 seconds, your watch time's gonna be garbage and nobody's gonna care. So even if you make like 10-hour videos, if people are watching it for 10 seconds, you're not making nothing off that. It's junk. You gotta have a high watch time. And the most important way to do that is you have to keep people engaged. You have to keep them interested. Ask questions while you're doing it. Put a cliffhanger at the beginning. Make it exciting. You can't just sit on there like, whoa, I got a piece of paper, there's text on it. Oh, it's worth $10,000, that's cool. I just made 10 grand. No, be psyched, be energetic. If anyone that knows me in person can attest to this, I'm a super quiet, super shy, quiet person in real life. But on camera, you have to be, ooh, like, oh my God, that's $10,000. You're not gonna believe this, holy crap. You have to be like that. That is how this world works. That's how this profession works. You have to be exciting. You could be generating the same amount of views, same amount of subscribers as somebody, but if you're not generating that watch time, you're not keeping them engaged, you're not getting anywhere. You're not. You have to put time into editing. We take on average, sometimes up to 7 or 8 hours to edit a 20-minute video. Usually I'd say 4 hours or so, but I put a lot of time into it. Zoom in and out. There's so much psychology that goes into this. There really, really is. And of course, we're on YouTube. If you're really interested in it, there's tutorials everywhere. There's tutorials on Photoshop, how to make good thumbnails, how to use different editing software, and how to make your videos better. Because if you're doing the same thing again, there's a saying I like to say that's work smarter, not harder. You can do the same video a million times in a row. If it's not working, it's not working. You have to be willing to fail. Try something, fail. You know it doesn't work. Try something else. Maybe that'll be the thing. Maybe you'll have 3,000 fails in a row. Very possible. I said I've been doing this for so many years. I put 180 videos into a gaming channel just to delete it because it didn't go nowhere. Be willing to fail. Be willing to put in the work. YouTube, you get out what you put in. So guys, that is going to be it for this one. I hope you found it interesting. If you did, let me know down in the comments. If you didn't, go ahead, let me know down there too. Hate on me, I don't care. It's all good. Remember what we said earlier? It's all good. Hate, love, I love it all. So thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, make sure you leave it a big fat thumbs up. And if you're not already, hit that subscribe button for awesome treasure hunting videos. This may not be treasure hunting per se, but if you want to be able to make a passive income, you know, make money on your own, not have to work under somebody. If the idea of working under somebody just enrages you like it does to me, this video is for you. And if you want to follow us on our social media links, they're going to be on screen. Click the links down in the description below. Make sure you follow us on whatever you have. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, peace out.